honestly, there it is, me. Having booked the next flight to Japan and just running away from Europe. Oh boy. Even though my holiday is supposed to start in a week. But by then, Germany will probably be in lockdown, so I need to get out. A refreshing towel. That'll come in handy, I guess. So what's going on? Me sitting in a Starbucks drinking a venti-sized caramel frappuccino? What is this escaping from Europe all about? Well, the COVID-19 epidemic is now striking the West, or more specifically Europe, where I live. And Italy, for example, has already gone into complete and utter lockdown. And looking at the numbers and how they rise every day by around 33%, and that is building up really quickly. So our original plan to go on a 3-week vacation to Japan for some time already. I mean, to see my girlfriend and travel to Japan with her and what not. And the issue is, well, initially people said, oh no, Asia is affected by a disease. South Korea, oh no, the numbers are really high. Japan as well. Well, Japan and South Korea took great precautions about that. Japan generally is a country that is very clean. People are running around with masks. And here, well, in Europe, well, I consistently saw people touching their face, peeling their nose. No, literally I did see someone doing that to the nose. And I was like looking at them and they quickly... Whoop. No, the thing is, the infection is spreading rapidly in Europe as a combination of less hygiene and, well, a generally more kind of touchiness that is allowed in social interactions. For example, that isn't really something that you do, touching other people in South Korea, Japan. I suspect, without the numbers are rising, that a total lockdown of Europe is going to happen 2 days before my original departure date. And I said, you know what, I don't want to risk it. I want to go on my Japan holiday. And thus I made the insane decision to literally just get the next plane and go to Japan. Pushed my holiday a little bit forward. But no, it actually wasn't an easy decision because in a way I feel like I'm leaving people in Europe behind. I feel like I feel a bit selfish, leaving when crisis is about to start. When a lockdown is about to happen for my own selfish purposes and my own holiday or seeing my girlfriend. And it doesn't feel that great, honestly, and it was a really rash decision. It was a decision that I had to make really quickly. I gathered a little bit of information, what I could, and I said, screw it, I'm taking the next plane to Japan, and well, here I am, sitting in Starbucks, drinking a caramel frappuccino. I did have a ramen beforehand. I like ramen. Oh yeah, and this stuff is good. Oh yeah. Probably more sugar than I'm supposed to drink in like a week. Well, but generally the reason is, well, the numbers aren't so big right now. They're going to rise further and further. And the kind of rate of increase is accelerating. And as that, I couldn't risk it. And during my travels here, I experienced many interesting things actually. The airports were much more emptier, much less crowded. Lots of flights were cancelled, sometimes even half the flights that I saw on the information desks. And generally the airplanes, they were fairly empty as well. And I did fear quite a few things. For example, after I booked my flight, I feared that it could be cancelled at any second. or that I wouldn't be able to get into Japan because Japan would say suddenly, you know what, no person is allowed to come in from Europe. I mean, that can happen. Hong Kong already said so. The moment I booked the flight, Hong Kong said, you know what, everybody coming into Hong Kong from Europe starting Tuesday will have to be put under 2 weeks quarantine. And well, that's basically the entire holiday gone. So I had to do this insane decision to just get up and leave. And yeah, like I said, I feel terrible. What if I'm needed when the crisis starts? I mean, if things go well, lockdown would basically just mean that people have to stay home a little bit. And I honestly, why bother with that? That's not that big of a deal, but it could become worse, much, much worse. I hope it doesn't. It already did in Italy and Spain, and that's not good. And yeah, now I'm the one who did the selfish thing to just leave. I'll have to live with that. Japan is a bit safe because people are really clean and people care about hygiene. And the collective mindset of saying, you know what, actually we need to do our part and stay away and stay out and reduce our capacity, that's something that is there in Asian cultures. And for example, South Korea, their numbers aren't rising anymore. They're going down now, and that is good. They didn't do any draconic measures such as China did. They didn't need to. People just understood they needed to stay home. And yeah. Well, I'll be in Japan now. It's gonna be fun. I did hear a couple of people cough on my airplane. I got sad, so I used my mask. And once I had heard too many people cough, I even skipped the meal that they offered. I said, no, I'm not taking off this mask. I'm not taking off that mask. Yeah, I was worried quite a lot during that ride. Maybe this could happen, maybe that could happen. And I still have to worry. Let's hope people stop touching each other. Touch yourself instead. Except in the face, don't do that. Don't touch yourself in the face, and also wash your hands. Well, let's see how it plays out. There is still a lot of stuff to discuss about this virus. It's definitely not to be underestimated. Right, and before I finish this video, I just wanted to take this as an opportunity to, tell you how to protect yourself from the coronavirus when you are in an airplane yourself. And there are a couple of tricks where you can significantly reduce exposure. Basically, you want to reduce exposure to other people as much as possible. So how do you do it? First, you take a window seat. People are going to be walking around on the aisle seats. So, well, near the aisle seats, on the aisle of course. And you don't want that. Second, avoid booking a seat that is close to the toilet. Toilets are usually frequented by a lot of people. And those people might just be infected. Third, don't go to the toilet yourself. Avoid any getting up as much as possible. Of course, generally this trick won't work if the infected person is sitting next to you, but generally that is unlikely. Generally the most likely thing is you walk by an infected person. So reduce movement as much as possible. Right. I think they were just calling me. My plane. Well, I'm glad I made it to Japan. I probably couldn't have if I waited another week. Either Japan would have given some limitations for Europeans coming into the country, like they already do for Italy, or, Europe would have gone into total lockdown, Germany at least, and I believe that's going to happen on the 18th or 19th, looking at the current numbers, and also depending on how quickly the leaderships in the different European countries act. Czechia was, for example, quick. Denmark as well. But I don't know about the others. Well, let's see. I'm gonna enjoy my holiday here as much as I can. Crazy, crazy this world.